scales are going. They're a bit lopsided, aren't they? Oh well. No, nobody's perfect. I find that annoying when I'm midway through saying something and the camera goes beep. It's like, oh, I've got to say it again. Maybe I should make some of her scales get a bit bigger now. Gradually get bigger. I think sometimes people do it the other way though, don't they? They start small here and get bigger there. Oh well. If that's the case, mine's different. This is fun, but it's time consuming. It's getting later now. Apparently there's a full moon tonight. I think it's tonight. And my hubby wants to go out and try and get a moon picture with his camera. What's the time? It's 10 minutes before 7 p.m. so he said rather than come and disturb me, he'll just go out, and if I happen to come out and see that he's gone, well then I know where he is. He's just going down the road a little way where he can get a clearer view of the sky. He's got a plan that there's quite a lot of construction going on around the neighbourhood lately, with a lot of tall buildings going up. And he's thinking, because of the construction, there are a lot of cranes. And he showed me the other day that there's, not too far away from us, there are 2 cranes that you can see over the rooftops of the houses, and they're crossed over like that, or they're close to each other anyway. And he said he'd love to be able to capture the moon in between those 2 cranes. He thinks that would make a really good photograph. So I think that's what he's going to go and try and capture, if he can get the right angle. That's the problem. So he's going to have to sort of go down the street and try different sides of the street, and maybe different streets themselves, to see that he can get the right angle and try and get the moon in the right position. I like his ideas with his photography. He doesn't really like photographing people or animals or anything. He just likes doing the more sort of artistic, oh I did that wrong, more sort of he likes things on funny angles, and yeah, his photography has definitely got a lot better since he first started. He's really improved a lot, and it's all self-taught. He's never done any courses on photography at all, so it's pretty good. How's she looking? She's doing alright, except I smudged her a bit, but that's alright. Try and straighten these scales up a bit. I suppose I better get the boys in soon. They're still outside. They like it out there. We got them some special outdoor cushions recently. They're really thick and comfy, and they're weatherproof. Not that we haven't got them out where the rain can get on them anyway, they're under the veranda, but it's good because just moisture in the air can affect things like that. So they love their special little cushion beds. They also have their favourite spots where they like to lie in the sun. They lie on the grass, or there's quite a bit of concrete pathing, and sometimes they'll just lie on the concrete, particularly in winter because the sun warms the concrete up. So they'll lie on that to get the warmth from it. They were naughty this morning while I was out watering. They, I found a couple of not very big branches that with the wind they'd obviously come off one of our trees and blown over into the neighbour's yard, and I think that the neighbour has tossed them back over our side of the fence because they were in a position that it looked like that was the case anyway. So I grabbed them and I was going to move them and put them in our compost area, and the dogs decided that they wanted to grab them and chew them and play with them, so I let them have them. But the problem is then they started fighting over, you know, who had the better one, and sort of like squabbling kids. Oops, I just made a mistake. That's alright. Yes, and they started fighting, and I was hosing at the time, so I ended up having to turn the hose on them to stop them because it started to get a bit serious. And they're too old for that now, silly old boys. I think because they're old they get cranky a lot more easily. But they shouldn't be fighting like that. They used to fight really hard when they were much younger. And sometimes they draw blood and it was awful. I hated it. But they haven't done that in a long time. So of course when they started squabbling and getting a little bit more serious this morning, I ended up having to call my hubby out and say, look, you know, can you have a serious word to them, because they listen to him better than they'll listen to me. So he's got the deep voice, it's more commanding, more serious sounding. Yeah, I'm just seeing how that's going. I suppose that's looking alright. Just wondering how I'm going in terms of time of recording. The thing is, I just keep going and going, and then I find it's a bit hard when I do the editing. Sometimes I'll have to, I try not to let it go over 45 minutes because I think that's just a little bit too long. And sometimes I have to sort of cut the video off when I'm in the middle of doing something because I can't find a part in the video where it naturally comes to an end. Sometimes it works out that way, but not always. I'll try and straighten this out a little bit, but My hubby's just going out now. It's still quite light out though. I don't think he's going to get the moon up yet. Unless that was next door's gate. It might have been. Our gate and our next door neighbour's gate sound very similar when they click. My ears have finally stopped fluttering. It's weird, really weird. I didn't find any horrible insects, so that's good. I don't know why it was doing that. Very strange. Leave me a note down below in the comment section if that ever happens to you. I'd be interested to know. Whether it's just me and I'm weird, or whether you get ear fluttering when you see an insect as well. Yuck. Wants to talk about insects. Sometimes my visitor who comes once a week, we get into conversations like that and we start talking about bugs and horrible things, and we end up just giving each other the creeps and sort of say, that's it, we've got to stop talking about this stuff. I did actually see a really big spider today outside. As long as they're outside, they don't bother me. I can just let them be. Or, you know, if they're somewhere I don't want them to be because I need to be working there, I will move them on by gently use the broom, gently sort of entice them to move. But I won't hurt them. But if they're inside, yeah, that gives me the creeps. Mostly because I hate the thought of you don't know where they are, where they've gone. You see them 1 minute and then they're gone and you're like, where are they? I have to know where it is. And it's always creeped me that they could potentially crawl over you in the night when you're sleeping. Gross. Yuck. Yeah, so I have to make sure all spiders get put outside, thank you very much. I don't like killing them. But sometimes I've accidentally sucked a spider up the vacuum cleaner and I've just, oh no, I feel really bad. Poor things. I know some of you are probably thinking, no, just squash it, kill it. That's what my friend Judy, she says all the time, nah, I see a spider, I can't live with knowing that it's there, I've got to kill it. Oh, poor thing. They don't really mean us any harm. They're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, hey? Now what am I going to do with her tail? I might put some wavy lines or something. So finish it off like this. I've got some beautiful flowers coming on soon. There are flower buds with my succulent plants outside. I've got a lot of them in pots and their flowers are about to open soon. I'd say probably another 3 or 4 days maybe, depending on the amount of sun that we get. Yeah, I really look forward to seeing them. Every year in spring it's like, yay, the flowers are coming back. They don't last for very long though, which is a shame. And I've got one particular one that it opens and it's open for 1 day and then that's it. And there's another one that only opens at night time. So quite often I've completely missed it, and I'll go out one morning and you can see the dead flower all floppy and hanging off to one side and think, oh, I missed it. Didn't get to see it flower at all. Cactus and succulents have the most amazing flowers. They're so pretty. Gotta try and make sure I listen to the raven. Gee, that went by quickly since I last put it back on. Magpies have come back recently, which is really good. I missed them over winter. They're beautiful, singing every morning and every evening. There we go. There's one there. I might just divide that. It looks a bit funny, but a few dark clouds are out there. Now, let's see, I might just do wavy lines. It's still very windy. It's been really windy all day. Not wet enough. Oh, my ears just started fluttering again. It's weird. I wonder if it's got something to do with the wind. Oh, stop it. It's really weird. It's like, how can I describe it? It's like this, this is going to sound strange. It's like there's a little tiny person right inside my eardrum and they're waving a fan so hard that it's making my eardrum flutter and make a noise. There you go. That's a weird description. Why is this dried up? It's not working. Put some water. a bit weird. Maybe I'll do it like that to incorporate the mistake I made. Just have a funny little pattern. Oh, that sounded like a car just slammed their bonnet lid. Oh gosh, my ears. It's getting stronger and stronger. I was telling my husband about it before, and he said you should yawn, try and maybe there's something in your ear canal that you need to, sometimes when you yawn you break that pressure and it stops it. Sometimes if you've got a blocked ear, if you do that, that works. I tried that, didn't help. Oh, that looks a bit funny. Can hear something ticking again. Don't know what that is. Oh, it seems I might have run out of things to say. It's not terribly much been happening here that I can tell you about. Oh no, my brother had a birthday recently, so we had a family gathering for that. That's something that happened. Yeah, we just had a really nice lunch. My brother and his partner and my wife and her husband came along, and our kids, and we just had a really nice lunch together, and then we played some cards. I've got this card game called Quiddler, where, I don't know, did I tell you about this already? I know I told someone. My memory's shocking. Anyway, it's a card game where you make up words. It's a bit like Scrabble, and that was fun. We did that until everyone got tired and they went home. Alright, just fix this here. I think that will do. She's very green, sort of a bluish green. Now what to do her hair, and then I'll eventually get back and finish her face. Maybe I might take this time to pause. I'll go and get the boys in and get them settled, and I'll be back. Alright, back. Got the boys settled down now, hopefully. we have a little routine. They come in and they have a little treat, and then they go have a drink of water, and then they get their toys and they play with them. Very cute. They sadly both of them have cataracts. I don't know if I've told you this before. My memory's so bad. I'm possibly telling you the same thing 2 or 3 times in the one video. I'm so sorry if I do that. I won't know until I do the editing whether I've repeated myself or not. I'm just going to say that they both have cataracts, so they have a little bit of trouble seeing, particularly at night, and they'll crash into things, unfortunately, before I can get to the light switch and turn it on. They'll be heading in the wrong direction or crashing into something. Did I tell you about my mother's cataract surgery? I suppose I should go and review the video I've done already and find out what I've talked about already. Oh well. I will talk about it now, and if I've already told you, you can just hear it again, or just ignore me, or skip forward. Yeah, she had her eye doctor told her that, you know, she's cataracts were pretty bad. She said she did notice that her eyesight was very fuzzy, and you know, she had problems seeing, but she didn't think it was that bad. But the doctors were saying, oh no, you need to have them done fairly soon. So they went ahead and booked her in, and she was expecting to have to wait quite a few months, but it wasn't too long before they got her in and they did the one eye, and now she's just got to wait to have the next one done. But it all went really well. She wasn't the slightest bit fazed by it, but it really creeps me out about having surgery on your eyeball. I just think, oh, yuck. And would really worry me. I asked her to explain to me what happened, because I wanted to know what it was like in case I ever need it in the future. And it turns out it's not that bad after all. I got a feeling I did tell you this before. I know I was talking to someone about it recently. Maybe it was you guys. I remember a while ago that a friend's mother had her cataract surgery done, and I saw her a couple of days after it had been done, and she was moaning and complaining and saying that her eye was really sore and uncomfortable, and all she wanted to do was lie down and keep her eyes closed because she couldn't see properly, and it just sounded to me like it was pretty awful. So I guess that's probably what made me really nervous about the thought of eye surgery as well. So I just thought, oh God, if it was bad for her, imagine what it's like for others. And but yeah, my mum said that she'd recommend it for anyone. She thought it was perfectly fine, it didn't hurt, she didn't see anything. So that's brilliant. Not so much to be scared of after all. Oh, Clyde. He need to be when he lay down. I can hear the male blackbird starting to sing. So pretty. I've closed the blind now because it's not completely even near dark yet, but it's heading that way, and I don't like being in here with the light on and it's getting dark outside. People can see straight in. I feel like I'm in a fishbowl. I just don't, that really gives me the creeps that people can look through the window and see you. Not that I'm doing anything that I wouldn't want someone to see, you know, like, it's just, I don't like being watched. So there you go. Shut the blind. Her hair colour's a little bit bright. Bright, bright, bright. This took me ages to get her hair right, and I don't even know if it's that great now, but trying to get it to look like it's in the water and sort of waving about is quite difficult when you've not done it before or had any art lessons or anything like that. It's a bit hard to figure out. So I always use my hubby as a, you know, do you think this looks okay? Do you think I should do it this way or that way? For the most part, he's pretty good, he's helpful. Sometimes he can be a little bit sarcastic. But he makes me laugh, which is good. Go, my ear's fluttering again. It goes for a little while and then it stops and then it starts up again. It's just started up again now. Very strange. I shall have to look up on Google what causes ear fluttering. I look up so many things. It's fascinating having like a gigantic encyclopedia on the internet. It's fabulous. You can pretty much find out anything you want. It's drying out. Clyde, are you licking? Clyde? No, stop licking. Play with your toy. Oh, he's all panting. It's warm, but it's not that warm. I feel a bit hot. Oh, my ears! Stop it! This is watercolour paper that I'm doing this on, so it's quite thick. But I found that it's the best for doing this on with the watercolour brush and the soft pastels. And it holds up really well. You know, if I keep painting over and over and over something, generally speaking, it's a lot better quality paper. I think this is 350 GSM. It's pretty... Yeah, it is 350. Couldn't get that back in the shelf then. Yeah, so it's good paper. Oh gosh, Clyde's panting so much. Clyde, Clyde, no licking. Where's your toy? I'm trying to think of something else to tell you that's been happening lately, but it's nothing really newsworthy, apart from us having doctor appointments and my husband going shopping. That's about it. And because I don't go out anywhere or do anything, you know, it makes it a bit boring when it comes to me telling you about stuff. No. A little bit of the green's got on there. Oh well. It's just a little fleck, but of course once it got wet, I should have brushed it off before. Do you have a big drink, Bandit? Oh boy. Well, one thing I want to say is hello and thank you to any new subscribers that have come along recently. I really appreciate you if you're watching. I try to send a thank you note to everyone who subscribes, but and I keep a record of who I've sent a message to so that I know where I'm up to, because otherwise I'll just forget and I'll be sending you like 15 messages of thanks. But something happened recently where, you know, I was keeping a record, and I knew where I was up to and who I'd thanked and who I hadn't. And then something YouTube did, I don't know what it was, but it sort of put everything out of whack. And I couldn't figure out where I was and who I'd told and who I hadn't told thank you. So I'll just say a personal thank you to anyone else I've neglected to thank with a message. That I appreciate the fact that you subscribe to my channel and give me that little bit of support. Now, I'm realistic to know that you know, not everyone watches. Mostly people just subscribe just to be supportive, and then either intentionally or unintentionally they sort of never come back. But that's alright. I think it's a bit unrealistic to expect that everybody watches your videos all the time. And if you just look at your amount of subscriber numbers compared to the amount of views you're getting, you can tell not everyone's watching. But that's okay. As long as someone's watching. But I reckon even if no one watched, I'd still be doing this. Just in case someone stumbled along one day and wanted to watch.